Just ask him, yeah.
His pack one, pick one, by the way. Oh, and we're going to watch Paul here, which is going to be awesome, right? We get to watch Paul Rietzl draft this second time he's ever drafted the format, learning on the fly. His pack one, pick one in the first draft was Kozilek's Sentinel, the 1/4 for 2 mana in red.
Okay, it's playable.
Over the guy you're trying to get us to all call Baby Ojutai.
Really?
Yeah. I saw him asking, quizzing teammates, did I make the right pick here? Everyone's like, no.
Yeah, that's the Wind Rider Patrol, the 4/3 with flying. All right, let's take a look at his opening pack here. Paul Rietzl looking to pick up a nice little top 8 here on his way in.
Benthic Infiltrator, Void Attendant. Yeah, he likes the colorless side. He's apparently on the Eldrazi side of the war.
There's a Zada as well. She's pretty good.
Swarm Surge, Call the Scions. No. Yeah, I mean, this is not a great pack. There's nothing super powerful here.
No.
This is the kind of pack where you just make a color preference, right? What archetype do you actually want to draft?
Or you take the Channeler.
Sure.
Which is a reasonable colorless card that would go in most decks.
Well, but I mean, you're kind of saying I want to go big rather than.
It's still fine though. Like most of the decks have mana sinks of some sort, and it's still a 4/4 for 5.
That is a fine point.
But Benthic Infiltrator.
Benthic Infiltrator.
He's decided, I'm going to go for maybe some ingest, maybe some colorless synergies, and see what he can figure out here.
Now, what does he get past? Resolute Blade Master. Brutal Expulsion. That's got to be the pick here, right?
It's a nice card, yeah. He's already got a blue card anyway.
Exactly.
Blue-red seems to be a fine archetype so far.
Yeah, I mean, the Blade Master is solid if you were thinking, red-white allies, but that doesn't go with your Benthic Infiltrator, and I think Brutal Expulsion might be better.
Yeah. That's a nice pickup there for Paul. He's going to be able to really leverage the flexibility that a card like Brutal Expulsion has as well and get maximum value out of it. He just has so much experience at finding the right spot to fire off a card like that.
Another Channeler.
Ghoul draws Overseer. Not.
Ooh, where are the Devoid cards?
Jeez, no kidding. Look at this. Is it what, like one?
White looks wide open. Look at him.
Scions?
He's kind of sorting by color, and he sees the white cards and black cards. I mean, there are 2 red cards, so red could still totally be open. It could just be a pack where the red cards weren't great. I think Channeler's the pick. I think.
Yeah, but he's going to have to really take note of what he's seeing flow through these cards here.
Exactly.
He's taking a colorless card, which is fine, but an actual colorless card. But he's that's going to raise a little red flag. I mean, one pack isn't enough to say what's open and what's not, but it's a data point.
The guy on Paul's right, which, by the way, is Sam Pardee, who we're going to watch next, knows that he passed Paul Brutal Expulsion. There's that Sentinel. Took a pack one, pick one last draft.
He might take it here.
It's not crazy.
No.
Like, Catacomb Sifter is also good, but he's not in either color.
No.
Yeah, I mean, the Sifter's the best card in the pack, right?
Yes.
But the Sentinel's the best card in his current 2 colors.
Exactly.
So there you go. And that 2-drop can be hard to fill in a red deck, especially a Devoid red deck. Interesting. Yeah, he's passing some solid allies. He's passing some black and some white. He's passing a landfall deck, which I don't know how good that deck is. I think he just takes Coralhelm Guide here. It doesn't have the Devoid synergies, or Spell Shrivel. Interesting. Takes the Spell Shrivel.
All right.
No interest in Coralhelm Guide.
Yeah, it looks like Paul wants to try out a bunch of different cards here before next weekend, and he's willing to jump in. I mean, Spell Shrivel's proven to be a playable card. Not a great one, but playable for sure.
Incubator Drone's probably the pick.
Yeah, that's kind of tough. There's Stone Fury there as well, which is a reasonable removal spell. But I think I'm actually with you. I think I might Incubator Drone here. The problem is he doesn't quite have the payoffs yet for it, but he's got to kind of plan on getting them.
Ruination Guide can flow to you. But yeah, he goes for the removal spell. Oh, Nettle Drone. That is a great sign.
Jeez.
Yeah, Nettle Drone says he's not being cut on black Devoid. right? It's not like there's a black-red drafter over there. Red's just basically open.
Wow, that's insane.
He got past Stone Fury. He got past Nettle Drone. He got past that Brutal Expulsion.
I mean, Nettle Drone is a card I have pretty high on my list of red commons there, and to get it that late is really nice.
Molten Nursery.
Jeez, he could just run it right back here.
You take Molten Nursery out of this pack,
I
right?
would. You know, this is the payoffs that we were talking about, right?
Yes.
He didn't.
You're going to take like an ally? You're not going to a Stonewalker? No, you take Molten Nursery.
Yeah, Stonewaker doesn't look great in this deck.
Wow.
I like this now. I like his commitment.
I do too.
This is the pack he
nothing.
opened. There's the Zada still.
I mean, you could call the Scions. Maybe he's not completely wedded to blue. You throw the Zada in your pile.
Yeah, he's not giving up much either way.
Hedron Blade's not actually playable, right?
No.
Even in a deck that's happy to see you summoning colorless things?
Don't think so.
And takes the land. I think he knows he's just taking away from some white drafter on his left.
Yep.
Now what? Altar's Reap. He's more likely to wind up in black, but the Felidar Cub's the best card in the pack. Again, he's
It
kind
kills
of-
his nursery.
yeah. He's probably just cutting the white drafter. He knows how much white he's passed. Kill the retreat, kill the inspired charge, kill the retreat.
Took the retreat.
Yeah. The last couple of picks not give him anything.
No.
Don't
Wow.
play around with the Mancer's Focus.
Yeah, I would just take that Beastmaster myself,
Yeah.
just in case. It's just that's actually a pretty good.
It's
card.
actually a good card.
Yeah.
I mean, the Lithomancer trick,
Yeah,
there aren't that many tricks in the format.
that's true.
He took the better card. Right. So, clearly we're in red to void again.
Yes.
Like, he wants to build another Molten Nursery deck. And he's got enough colorless that he should be able to. I
Yep.
mean, early he was committed to it early.
He was.
He passed some other stuff to just keep drafting colorless cards. And now I assume red is the... I mean, red's in the deck.
Yes.
How much blue does he actually
He actually
have?
didn't get that much because
It's the
remember.
Infiltrator and the Expulsion? Is
took-
that it?
Yeah, because remember he didn't take the Incubator, right? He took the Stone Fury over it. Remember that was a
Right.
I think he ended
He
up
did
taking
not
the
take the
Stone Fury.
Incubator drone.
Yeah. So he doesn't have that,
Yeah, I think he has
It's another red
Infiltrator,
card.
Expulsion.
which
Which is-
means that he could be in black if you know that happened.
I mean, it's better than any other color.
Spell Shrivel too.
Oh, Spell Shrivel.
Yeah, which is another playable, right? Again, I don't
Right.
think it's the card that's pulling you into blue, but it would make the cut if you did end up going blue. You know, at this point, I think he probably will end up being blue-red. Like, he does have just enough blue to make it worth it, but it's not impossible that if he opens up some really sick black cards going the other way that he could shift.
what does Zada do? All right, he's like, now I've got time to read this card. Paul Rietzl. I've been super impressed with Paul Rietzl the last year. He number 4 ranked player in the world, despite not going to that many Grand Prix.
Yeah, he's absurd.
I mean, he went to what, like half dozen GPs last year? Just top 8 at all of them?
And the thing is, if you talk to him, he'll just say, like, how much better everybody else he plays with is than him and how he plays with the best players in the world. And I'm just like, dude, you're one of them. Like,
I mean, I don't think he's just one of the best players in the world right now. I think he's climbing the all-time pantheon in my mind. The run that he's been on, I mean, I say he didn't, not like he top 8 half a dozen GPs, but I think he went to a single-digit number, and I think he capped himself with 6 finishes.
it's unreal. I mean, remember the last GP we were at was Modern. He top 8'd that. Now he's looking to put together a top 8 run in, week 1 of Limited. I mean, he's just kind of showing off at this point.
Well, I mean, look, when he makes the time to travel, he wants to put up a big result. I mean, he wants to stay platinum and have a full-time job, a fiance, a life outside of Magic, in addition to this awesome life inside Magic.
Ooh, Sire of Stagnation.
And a Forerunner.
And a Forerunner.
Both of which say Splash Black.
Yes. Does he have an easy
Interesting.
decision? No, he doesn't. Sire's good. It's not.
But it only goes in a 3-color deck. He's not walking away from red.
Now, is
So-
that another Benthic Infiltrator there?
It is.
Maybe he just keeps it simple and
I
takes
think
that.
the Forerunner is an option here.
Yeah, see, the tough part about the Forerunner is that if you do splash for it, you need it. Like, it's great on turn 2 and gets steadily worse from there on out.
Fair. Yeah, he doesn't seem to be considering that seriously. I think if he was going to splash, he would go Sire. I was just imagining that he could give up on blue, but you're right. He's not going to give up on the Forerunner's not good enough to give up on the blue cards.
Yeah, and I think he's correct here to do that. I mean, look, I'm a big fan of Sire of Stagnation. I like that type of card a lot. But he doesn't currently have a way to power it out early where it's really amazing. Your opponent is forced to play lands and give you cards. It gives your opponent a lot of agency over how the rest of your build goes. Ooh, Coastal Discovery. I like that.
Touch of the Void.
Well, that ended that. I think he's just going to take the
Void.
touch here. Yeah, Coastal Discovery is a really nice card to have late.
It's not at its best in his archetype, though.
Yeah.
I mean, it's better in blue-white flyers where you just want the game to go long.
There's a salvage drone in this pack, too, and I've been really underwhelmed by that card. It needs a lot of help.
Yeah, he's just looking at what might come back to him now. I think he's already decided on the Touch of the Void. I think. He's looking at Coastal. Yeah, Touch of the Void, okay. Another Infiltrator. Doesn't really have any processors yet to do anything with.
No, but he's picking up a lot of the
Injustice
best
cards.
way to get that processing going with
The
this Benthic
Infiltrator?
Infiltrator. Yeah, I think that's the #1 player in that field. You've got the drone that he just passed, which is really quite bad, and then you've got the Mist Intruder, which gets the job done.
At 2 mana, like the 2 mana versus 3 mana is a big deal. I mean,
It
the
is.
Infiltrator's way more reliable.
Yeah, and it also blocks
Intruder's-
better.
The Intruder's so much better for your curve.
It is. The 2 mana slot is a little barren in these decks for sure. It's just, man, the Benthic Infiltrator is a real card on its own.
Yep.
And the Mist Intruder is almost. Here's another one?
Yeah. He may take Sentinel over it, though.
Oh,
No,
another
never
touch.
mind. I think you just take cut. This pack's insane.
This pack's really great for him.
It's almost like he cut off the blue and red cards.
Yes, it's paying off for him now. This is the pack where you say, "Can I just take this whole thing and we'll just go
escape
to
draft.
pack 3?"
I'll just be done.
Yeah, because he has 4 solid playables available to him in this
So
pack.
I think I Touch of the Void here.
Yeah, I think I would maybe clutch. Touch of the Void does start to lose a little bit of utility as the game goes late, as it can't kill big things. Where Clutch can give you a little bit more to do with the late game,
Yeah,
but
but
really he can't go.
Clutch isn't devoid.
Right. Oh yeah, totally. And he is on the nursery plan here too,
Right.
potentially.
Omnath.
Jeez. Omnath. Now, I mean, this isn't super uncommon, I don't think, after you get past pack 1, just because Omnath is so specific.
Yeah,
it's not
it's only going
splashable
in a red-green. Nobody
anyway.
can splash it.
Yeah.
Double.
And
What's he taking here, though? The Wave Wing?
yeah, I guess.
He's
Just going to cut
gonna-
Omnath,
yeah,
sure.
I think
Yeah, there's no playables for him in that pack either way.
not really in the market for a 6-mana flyer.
Right, and he's looking at it like, I've got a couple of Touch of the Voids to kind of clear the path to get my little creatures in, but if my opponent sticks this, he doesn't really have a great answer for it.
Yep.
So
Now the Devoid cards are suddenly green and black.
yeah, I think
It's like, why did
Boiling
all
Earth
those
here?
have to go in the same pack? Yeah, Boiling Earth is good.
Little sideboard action maybe.
I mean, it's both good against him and a good sideboard card.
Oh yeah, good point. True.
Maybe there's not a red-white player.
Hey, that's a nice pickup there.
The Invoker.
Yeah, I like the Invoker here.
I'm not convinced it's better than Sure Strike in Paul's deck.
Yeah, I mean, his deck is definitely not trying to make the game go long where the Invoker really shines.
Sure Strike is a
And Sure-
great combat trick.
And sure Strike does get you in for damage or get you through tough blockers. Yeah, that's a
goes
tough
Invoker.
one. I think that's an interesting pick,
Invoker's
though.
a higher power level objectively.
Right. Yeah, that is interesting. Yeah, I don't know. The Invoker, again, just gives you that great late game.
Yep. There's another Channeler in here.
There's the
Oh,
Blighted,
Blighted
Gorge, too, yeah.
It's got to be better than Channeler number 2, right?
I think so, yeah. I mean, the Channeler #1 is just okay for him. Though, at this point,
I mean, it's a 5-mana 4/4 colorless.
Yeah, and it does
it's-
enable his Invoker.
it's
maybe
serviceable.
that's a thing, yeah. The thing is, it's
Oh,
just
right,
so
right. Channeler Invoker.
Yeah, it's just so valuable, though, to be able to take effectively a spell here and not have it take a spell slot.
Right. I think if he was light on playables, the Channeler would be a better pick there. But
Exactly.
the fact that he's not going to run out of playables means turn one of those lands into a real card. Wow, Forerunner came all the way
It
around.
did,
There is
yeah.
no black-red
There's no
drafter.
black-red drafter. And, I mean, Paul's part of the reason for that. He has taken some of the good red cards, you know, the
Yeah.
Touch of the Voids and such out.
He takes the despoiler there.
Yeah, that seems fine. And that salvage drone is what came around after that
Look,
pack.
it's better than Undo whatever
For sure.
champion.
Yeah, totally.
Undo champion.
Yeah, I think you're kind of hoping that doesn't make the cut when
Agreed.
you take it, but hey, it is better than any of the other options for him there. We'll note here, by the way, no second copy of Molten Nursery.
Not yet.
Right.
Got a whole other pack.
I know. There was a note. And it looks like there's no green-white drafter either at the table. And Paul Rietzl's winding down his picks here down the stretch.
The Wavewing Elemental came all the way back.
Yeah, so did Scour.
I haven't seen somebody actually resolve Scour from existence yet.
Oh, I have. In fact, I did on an Ulamog.
Sure.
Don't think I won that game, but all right, let's review the pack. And things got really solid here. I mean, Paul picked up a lot of great cards. He had some tough choices in there, but, you know, he did pick up a couple of
he picked up
Benthic
solid
infiltrators.
cards.
Yeah.
He did not pick up amazing cards.
It's true.
He first picked an infiltrator, like, right? That's not
That's true.
amazing.
Yeah, he's still also looking for the payoff.
Right.
Right.
Does he have a single processor?
He has no Merc Striders.
Right. There's no. The Man of War guy is an obvious one. The Merc Strider. Even the roast.
Yeah, that would work too. Heck, even like an Oracle of Dust or something like that. He's going to have a lot of cards to churn through. Now he's got a whole nother pack to find them.
Yeah. Bunch of ingestors. And I mean, it is also unblockable damage, but yeah, that pack felt better going through it than it looks here now.
Yeah, you're right. He did add to his pile, but I think both of the packs, you know, didn't give him a lot of playables. He's probably on like
Did you look at his curve too?
8 and 8. Yeah, it looks
It's
okay.
all three. No, it's all threes.
Oh, it's all threes?
There's only one. There's one Sentinel in the 2 slot.
Okay.
And
No,
like,
that's the one you want.
Salvage Drone is not in. Salvage Drone is not in the deck right now, so he's one card that costs less than 3.
Yeah, thankfully, this format tends to be a bit slower.
Yeah.
But I don't know if you'd want to have that few.
Right.
But
I mean, or if you do, you want to be able to play a longer game. You want to be, you know, ingesting and processing and getting all that value.
all right, here we go. Quarantine Field. Ugh. That's one of the best rares in this set. And there's that Oracle of Dust I mentioned. Another Touch of the Void. I don't know if he wants the third one.
Another Forerunner. Cohort might come back around and might make the cut if he's desperate for 2 drops. So what do you take here? Is it Touch of the Void again?
It's that or Oracle of Dust for me. I mean, I am starting to feel the heat on getting some way to use all these cards that I've got, you know, ingested away from my 3 Benthic Infiltrators and my 2 Touch of the Voids and all that.
Yeah, I still think Touch of the Void is just better.
Yeah,
Killing
it's all right.
things.
Yeah, I mean, I like the card. I'd probably run the third one, sure. I'm just not fist pumping at that point, you know, because you're starting to use up your removal slots on a kind of middle ground red burn spell rather than, you know, the things, you know, if somebody plays a 5/5 or a 6/6, you could find yourself in some pretty big trouble. People do that in this format. Dampening Pulse is interesting.
Another Nettle Drone.
Another Nettle Drone. And an Exert Influence. Huh.
Wow.
This is a pack.
Exert Influence in 2 color?
You know, I don't think you'd run it if all you could ever do was 2 colors. I think you're okay if sometimes it only ends up being for 2, but with just no other source of colored mana, I think you don't run it. I think this is Nettle Drone. Yeah, I think you just Nettle Drone in here.
I think so too.
Dampening Pulse is sweet, but I mean, Nettle Drone gets a lot of work done for a deck like this, especially when you start piling up Nettle Drones with all these Touch of the Voids and you just start going upstairs.
Right.
Gives you a, you know, a win condition late. I like that pick from Paul a lot. Yeah. That Nettle Drone's going to do serious work in his deck.
His card quality, like his average card quality, wow, seems fine, but his deck is flawed. Wind Rider Patrol.
No, does he learn his lesson or
I
not?
don't know.
You know, I'm not actually convinced that
At this
Nettle
point
Drone's
in
not
this
better
deck-
anyway. Yeah.
At this point in this deck, I think Nettle Drone might be better.
I think maybe it is. We might be selling
Such
Wind Rider
devoid.
a little short, but geez.
But I mean, look at all the colorless synergies are kicking in, right?
Yes. And this is one of the payoffs for it,
Nettle
too.
Drone gets better in multiples.
Yeah.
There's a Molten Nursery in your deck.
It's
I like
funny.
it.
I think that is correct. Yeah, I'm going with the gut here and
He
saying
took the weaker card
the
because
sweet,
it's higher synergy.
5 mana, 4 powered flyer with upside is going to have to take the bench here as it's not colorless.
It's a synergy deck.
Yeah, I like it. I like being committed, and that's what you want to do in these synergy
Oh,
decks.
Sentinel. Just what the doctor ordered.
Yeah.
Oh,
jeez.
What just
Rolling
happened?
Thunder.
What just happened?
All right, well, the doctor put in a new order.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's 11 cards in this pack.
Oh
3
God.
people passed a Rolling Thunder.
Well, this one's not. Jeez. Holy crap.
The poker face is kind of impressive, too. He looks totally calm. I mean, he
There's-
stopped sorting when he got there.
He did have a
He
long pause
paused.
at the end, but holy smokes.
What was I saying about his average card quality?
It just took a sharp spike upwards.
And there's a Sentinel here for him, too, and a
Yeah.
Processor Assault.
Yeah.
Wow. Blighted Gorge. No, I don't think... Sentinel Processor Assault's interesting here.
Yeah, you know, it feels like it's Sentinel, but
I think...
because those things are going to get in for a ton of damage.
Like, he's going to have all the food he needs for Processor
that is
Assault
true.
to be
It's
reliable.
effectively always going to be turned on.
It
That is a really good point.
I mean, other than turn 2, but like it is a roast in his deck. It's
Yeah.
a better roast. It can hit a flyer.
yeah.
Right. It is just 1R sorcery deal
Yeah,
5.
no, you're right. I actually like that pick a lot. You know, when I see that card, I always think, yeah, but sometimes it doesn't happen, and it's like kind of not great. But if it's just always 1R 5 something, then it would be very, very good, and I like that pick.
I mean, he took all these Touch of the Voids. That's 2R 3
Yeah.
something.
But every time, you know.
Right. Understood. I'm just saying, given all his infiltrators, I think
Oh yeah.
nothing in
Skyline
this bag.
Cascade looks
Like
pretty good.
actual. Oh, Cascade. Okay. Not blank.
So yeah, I mean, this is one of those things where his curve isn't going to be fantastic, but his overall synergy level is really, really high.
What? Well, in a weird way,
I
he just
gotta
filled
say-
in his 2 spot. All those 3s, they cost 2 now.
You know, it's really funny. I got to think that, you know, is it Sam that's passing to him?
Yes.
Is he just trolling him at this point, just putting all these sweet cards into the very last one? Because he keeps getting like mediocre, mediocre Rolling Thunder.
Oh, Sam.
Mediocre, mediocre Herald of Kozilek, you know. Jeez, those last cards are just amazing for him.
How about a 2-drop?
There we go. Oh,
Which 2-drop do you prefer, Paul?
yeah. So I think he takes Kozilek Sentinel
I do too.
here.
I do too.
Yeah, it's liable to get in for more damage, and he doesn't need the ingest. If he did need the ingest, I could see him taking the Misintruder, though.
Agreed on all counts. Also, the fact that the Sentinel can block is actually decent, given how much like Nettle Drone and Molten Nursery shenanigans he's going to have. Like just being able to get in some damage early and then block is kind of just what he wants.
Wow, he wielded the Oracle of Dust, too. That's fantastic.
Yeah, I don't think you play Cohort. You just Oracle so that because you've got all the food for it.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he's going to be able to get a lot of value out of that. Again, I think he's capable of fairly quick starts, but if the board stalls, I don't think he's sad at all.
Right.
Like you said, Nettle Drone's just
Yeah, his
mow
late
down your
game's
life
fine.
total. Yeah,
Salvage Drone
sure.
shouldn't make the cut, but
No.
is the pick.
Does he have flyers that Plummet cares about? I don't
can't think of
so.
one. Yeah, I mean maybe your opponent has a bunch of castigators you need to block or something.
Huh, nobody's in the
Yeah, red-white allies.
The paired up gold cards here.
Yeah.
We've seen.
There's no red-white allies deck. There's no red-black colorless
Yeah,
aggro.
there's no white-green allies deck. I saw Grove Tenders just flying around the table last pack.
Oh, sure strike.
Yeah, that's fine. Sure.
I mean, it's not really the deck. He didn't wind up with the, beat down, force you to block, blow you out with a trick deck. But
No, he ended up with the ping you, grind you, hit you with a nursery, ping you with
play my rare, play my other rare,
thing. Yeah, and then
play my Rolling Thunder.
One you, one at a time. Excuse me, with my benthic infiltrators.
Paul Rietzl, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow. And you know, I think the lesson to be learned here, you know, as we zoom out here, is Paul was not afraid to commit hard to a deck archetype. He routinely took cards that fit better in this type of deck rather than cards that are objectively more powerful.
He also said, "Oh, you're going to pass me Brutal Expulsion? I'm in."